my understanding is that most people who are using point of sale systems are not directly managing them themselves. They're contracting a third-party IT staff to set them up. And depending on what sort of diligence that staff is doing, they may just be saying, you've got a working POS system, you're good to go, or they may actually be setting up and saying, all right, for this customer we're using this password, for this customer we're using a separate one. That would be the right way to do it. So it's hard to say with any certainty.
So when you're contracting with a POS vendor, you want to ask them what the acronym really stands for.
You do.
Okay.
These days, POS terminals are still primarily Windows machines with a few peripherals attached, usually with USB or sometimes even serial for certain peripherals. So, I mean, the basic desktop or server security rules should be applying in this space. It seems that in a lot of cases it's not. I mean, for example, you wouldn't use your back-end server to play, say, Call of Duty or maybe Guitar Hero, but the researchers did find evidence that people were using, in a particular case, the back of house PCs for these purposes.
Imagine that.
And the funny part is, one of those machines was already compromised, and the keylogger had been picking up the keystrokes for Guitar Hero. So you could see people tapping the keys, trying to play the game. In other cases, they were used for more mundane, but still questionable purposes: internet browsing, torrents, looking at porn, all sorts of things you wouldn't want what I essentially believe is critical infrastructure to be allowed to do.
Yeah.
So I think we were saying earlier that this is a space where it has a lot of catching up to do in terms of becoming what we would expect enterprise hardware infrastructure to be like. People should be very much aware of what their point of sale system is doing at the terminal. If it may be a pin pad or a complete POS system or a back-end server. I mean, these things all need to be protected because credit card information is being stored there.
So, I guess along these lines, perhaps one of the things to recommend folks do when they go out to contract this thing is that even before they go out to look at candidates for providing a service, to kind of write down what your expectations are from a security standpoint. What are your password management practices? Things that you would you reflect on yourself and say, these are the kinds of things that I expect my provider to do. And at the very least, ask them those questions. If not, make that a binding part of the contract agreement. So there's at least some opportunity that if you run into a problem, you have some opportunity to seek some retribution around it. Otherwise, you're really kind of, it's whatever they give you, right?